if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Giving all praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua B'Shem L'Kakwadash. And what I did was I put in the word elect, and it's mentioned in the scriptures, both Old and New Testament, 17 times. So it's not in there 17 times in 17 different verses. Actually, in the Old Testament, it's mentioned, pursuant to me bringing this up, the word up, 4 times, and that's all in the book of Isaiah. It says Isaiah 65 verse 9. Then I'm going to jump to the 22nd verse of Isaiah 65. It says, and I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob and out of Judah, an inheritor of my mountains, and mine elect, the elect of Israel. If you go to Isaiah 45 verse 4, for Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name, I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. And the majority of our people don't know the Most High and don't accept the fact that they're Israelites. So the Most High is only dealing with the elect. And the rest of you, you're going to be deceived by Esau, and you're going to take that thing, and then you're going to take the charagma, and then you're going to be destroyed. It says in the 22nd verse, they shall not build and another inhabit. Now, when I read this precept in Isaiah 65 verse 22, what came to mind, the precept that came to mind was Daniel, the 2nd chapter, around about the 44th verse. I'm not going to go to it. Somebody can put it in the comment section, where it says that this will not be left to other people. It's talking about the EU and NATO being destroyed, and ultimately Babylon, talking about the defeat of it in Daniel 2. That's and what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little research, and I'm going to see what these so-called Bible scholars say about the defeat of it in Daniel the 2nd chapter. But we know that the defeat of it represents the EU and NATO. Now you might say, well, what about the UN? Well, the UN works with the UN is set up by Esau. This was an idea of Esau, showing you that that Edomites are the current rulers of the planet. And it's no accident that it was the headquarters is in New York, a key place among the elites. DC, London, England, the Vatican City. When you go to Revelation, the 16th chapter, and I beheld 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. The false prophet represents Esau's religious system that goes back to the Renaissance period, which started in Europe and came to the New World. It says, they shall not build and another inhabit, they shall not plant and another eat. And that's what we did when the Most High set up Esau to bring us down and enslave us. It tells you that in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, how we planted corn and cotton and whatever they wanted to be planted, sowed and reaped for the master. building their houses. There was Jake that had skills that the master would even lend them out, to fix the nearby plantation. And you motherfuckers are going to pay for this. You got to go into slavery. You got to go into slavery. Isaiah 14 verses 1 to 2. You can't get around that. That's why you got clowns like Vocab saying, oh, that was talking about they enslaved the Babylonians right after. No, they did not, because they were under the Medo-Persian Empire. So they didn't enslave the Babylonian people. That's referring to now, something that's getting ready to happen. Isaiah, the 60th chapter. You read that whole chapter, it speaks about how we're going to enslave the nations. Isaiah, the 61st chapter. That we're going to, I'm merely paraphrasing, we're going to have them out there in the field. It says, Isaiah 65 verse 22, they shall not build and another inhabit, they shall not plant and another eat, for as the days of a tree are the days of my people. Now you have some people, oh, we're only going to live 1,000 years, or we're going to live forever. Now you have trees that are 1,000 years old that is still standing, over 1,000 years old. And mine elect, which are a certain segment of Israel, which will not be deceived. I'm going to read that in the next precept, Matthew's 24th chapter. And my elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. But when are they going to long enjoy the work of their hands? In the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be on earth. Matthew 24 verse 24, for there shall arise false Messiah. The word there for Christ is messiahs. False messiahs, false leaders, stumbling blocks as the scriptures refer to them, and false prophets. There's a lot of false prophets out there, even among Israelite groups. Any Israelite groups that tell you to take that thing, they're false prophets and false messiahs. And shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Now you have Jake as a whole, or you have a big segment of Jake that there's something that in them that's telling them not to take that thing. And why is that? Because they're Israelites. Now you're going to have Israelites that's going to take it, because the Most High didn't open up their spiritual eyes to reject it. 31st verse of Matthew 24 verse 31. And he shall send his angel with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect, which are the segment of Israel that the Most High chose. Many are called and but few are chosen. Shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Luke 18 verse 7. And shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? So what does it mean by crying day and night unto him? Prayer and us doing the work. First Peter 2 verse 6. Wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect precious, And he that believeth on him, which is Yahushai, shall not be confounded. So everybody's talking about the concentration camps and the guillotines and, you know, what are we going to do? Look, the scriptures speak about not having it. The Lord have not given you the spirit of fear. The one that should be fearing, or the ones that should be fearing, are you Edomites. And then it trickles down to the other nations. But you Edomites, which you know who we are. You know who you are. You know that you're the Edomites. You know that we're the Israelites. That's why you set up certain guys to as stumbling blocks to try to get the elect. The elect. You look. Let me go back to Matthew 24, verse 24. If it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. They're not going to deceive the very elect. For there shall arise false messiahs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, do great things, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. They're not going to deceive the very elect. That jab, the ones that's going to take it are the ones of our people that are not of the elect. The serpent came to Eve in the garden and convinced her to eat of that mythical tree. It wasn't an actual tree. It wasn't an apple that she ate. It was a philosophy, a way of life, for lack of a better way of saying it. Now what I want to do now is go to, since this is a short chapter, and I'm going to read through it quick. Okay, the title is, this is Psalm 64 verse 1. The title is, or the headline is, Prayer for Deliverance from Secret Enemies. From secret enemies, because they do things in a secret manner. It says, to the chief musician, a psalm of David, hear my voice, O the Most High, and my prayer preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. You know the secret. They tell you they're doing something for your benefit, but what's really going on behind the scenes? Because they do things in secret. Remember what they did to Gad? They gave him blankets, and it had was that smallpox in the blankets, and killed a lot of Gadites and children, babies. So you mean to tell me all of a sudden this man woke up and he's a good guy now? It said, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Every word, all words that come out of this, all of the words that come out of this man are bitter words. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. The perfect are us, the Israelites, starting with the elect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They consume of laying snares privately, secretly. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Do you know that the CDC has samples of the bubonic plague, the pneumonic plague, and all the various, the Spanish flu? All these different plagues, they have it stored. Why would they store it? So they can use it in the future? Maybe. You're dealing with the devil. It's the same spirit that came to Eve that is coming to you now. And Captain Tazariak, I'm ashamed at you. That seals the deal. You're not one of the elect. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. It says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. Ultimately, they're going to be destroyed. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So you got individuals that's speaking against these wicked practices, which are among the Edomites, the wicked. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they, the middle of verse 8 verse, all that see them shall flee away. And all the men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. If you have any questions concerning Psalm 64, please ask in the comment section. With that, I'm going to say shalom.